Welcome everybody. I'll call the Town of Alexandria Board meeting to order. Would you please stand for the pledge? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Before we get started, I'd like to introduce everybody to Mr. Attorney Silver. He's our new attorney. Is it Andy or Andrew? Or?
Andy's fine.
Yep.
Hello, everybody.
Yep. Motion to pay the bills.
I'll make motion.
Motion by Sean. Second by Gene. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed? None. Motion to approve the town board meeting minutes for December 15th, 2021.
I'll make that motion. I have a couple very, very small changes that I've made note of on this copy.
Second to that motion?
Well, these guys, neither one were actually on the town board.
We'll do the discussion for your changes.
I'm saying again?
You want to do the changes?
Well, no, I'll give you them. You can give them to Jesse.
Okay. Okay.
I mean, they're just very minor things.
Yeah. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed? None. Yeah, I went over those with you, Mike. Make sure that Jesse has those. Privilege of the floor. Anybody from the public like to speak?
Sure.
Yep.
You guys, any of this is not directed to anybody in particular, just a generic question. In regards to the water districts, can anyone define what a wheeling charge is? Anybody can jump in.
You say, I say that I can?
Can anyone define what a wheeling charge is in relation
Sure.
to the water district?
Yes. What that is, say for example, we have a situation where the Village of Alexandria sells water directly to the town of Orleans and for Clayton. Also, the water district's heading out of the village from Otter Street, which you're a member of, so am I, then to Route 12. So each water district acts like its own little government. They're required, financially, they're required to be able to stand on their own. So if everybody in the, say, the Otter Street Water District, their water, part of their water bill, so there's a cap charge that they pay for all the infrastructure, all the pipe in the ground, the valves, meters, hydrants, all that kind of stuff. So Route 12 comes along, hooks on. The only way they can get any water is through through Otter Street. So they have to pay what's called a wheeling charge to compensate this district to get the water to here. And the same thing happens all the way down the road.
So Otter Street does in fact charge, it has a wheeling charge?
Yes.
Correct?
Yes.
Where does that money go from there? Once it's paid by a Route 12 user, does it come back to the district?
It goes back to each district. Say for, in this case, Orleans, there's a master meter out by the Price Chopper. And all the water that goes from that point out is leaving the town, going to Orleans and then to Clayton. We don't really care about anything beyond that, but they pay 10 cents, well, they pay a total of 47 cents per thousand. 37 of those cents is for the pump that's, the little building opposite the beginning. There's 2 large pumps in there, a bunch of other things, and then the building itself. The 37 cents of that pays for buying the building, the pump and everything like that, and the electricity to operate it. That provides all the pressure from that point that way. The 10 cents left out of the 47 is the wheeling charge. There's a 12-inch pipe that goes from the village through the Otter Street Water District all the way out through Route 12 out eventually to Orleans. And that represents, let's say, it's 100%, that whole length. 70% of that length is in the Route 12 Water District. 30% is in the Outer Street. So that 10 cents, 7 of those cents goes to Route 12. 3 of those cents per thousand goes to Outer Street.
Okay.
And when we collect those monies, when Nicole collects those monies, she puts them to Otter Street into Route 12 to the proper departments, the way he just explained that.
Is that a foilable amount? Like, is that something that you could require? I'm just curious what the number would be with the.
I'm sorry, is it what?
A foilable amount of like a.
Yeah, that's all. Yep.
Yeah, it's in a.
It's all.
I'm just curious what that is.
It's part of the budget, yeah.
It is, okay.
What was the 7 cents for?
I'm sorry?
You said 7 cents?
No, it's 10 cents. The total wheeling portion of the 47 cents, 10 of those cents is Wheeling. And 7 of those cents goes to Route 12, 3 of them goes to Otter Street.
And that's determined,
Route 12 also pays a wheeling charge to Otter Street as well. So Otter Street has 2 different wheeling charges, Route 12 has 1.
the wheeling charge is all about the wear and tear on the pipes as the
Right.
water goes through it.
It's almost like a royalty fee, you can kind of consider that.
Well, the only way that, say, Route 12 can get water is through Otter Street. Well, Otter Street had to pay for that.
Distribution fee, like, right? Yeah, no, okay, thanks.
Any other
I got a couple questions. I just want to be clear, do we now own the Bonnie Castle property?
Yes, it was in the paper, there was a closing the first week in January.
And I just, now how many acres do we actually own there?
It was,
Just short of 300.
yeah, a little bit short of 300.
Now, did we have any kind of an environmental assessment on that property before we bought it?
Yes, we did.
And it's all clear and there's no?
We had an environmental audit, and there was some problems in the environmental audit. We met with the owner. The owner has taken care of the problems that we had in the environmental audit. We had it re-looked at and got the okay, that it was fine. Most of the things that were in the report were there was a bunch of barrels with fluids in them, we didn't know what they were. There was some tiles, there was a bunch of issues, and he worked up there for quite a while, right, Mike?
Yep.
And took care of it, and that's why we
I
closed.
mean, we now know that there's no contaminated soil or polluted water up there?
I'm sorry?
So we know that there's no contaminated soil or polluted water sources?
We didn't, the stage environmental audit we did not dig into the soil or anything.
Yeah, because I'm just saying, because we own it now, we're responsible
Yeah,
for
yeah,
anything
yeah.
up there.
Yeah.
I just
Well,
want,
the one thing we did though is, there's a lot of people know all kinds of stories about Don Cole doing this, that, and the other thing.
oh yeah,
When we specifically adjusted the boundaries of the property, we ended up so we would stay away from anything we had any idea that, he might have had some
We
stuff.
had people.
I'm not
that
saying he
worked-
did, I'm just saying we stayed away from it.
no, I'm not neither, I'm just.
No, I'm just saying we
inquiring
did.
because We own it now.
Yeah,
We had
we thought
people
about it.
that- We had people that worked up there under Don Cole, and they told us
Yeah.
about different things that were done. So we looked at that, we had an environmental firm come, and we saw that area where the people told us that things were going on, and we changed the property lines, and we don't own that area.
Yeah, I mean, I thought you did, I just wanted to be sure about that. And, I just got another question about, I know you guys sent out an inquiry on Otter Street for residents to look at about the possible sewer district up there. And I just wondered, do you have any more information from those inquiries to share with the public about what people felt or about, about having a district there? Or
We've got about, I think around, I've seen of about 10 responses, all were positive.
So we're gonna
I
wait,
mean, is it positive information or? I mean,
No, they all,
on it or
no, they
on
all
it?
would, if there was a line out there, they all said they would look out.
They said they would. I don't know. Yeah, obviously, there are probably some people that aren't here, like we've gone to Florida or someplace.
Well, that's why we gave I can't remember there's a date. I can't remember what the actual date is to get, to set them in by.
Yeah.
my report that I got from Dale was that I didn't know that they were all positive, he said that most of them were, so.
Okay, well, I'd say all the ones.
How long ago did you look at them?
Like a week.
Yeah.
Yeah, the others, yeah.
I don't wanna say, if there's one or two that aren't,
I mean, I can't say, you would probably run our letter, but I can't say that I can be legitimately interested until, I kinda wanna see what the cost is and how that's all gonna go. I know it's in preliminary stages, but, people really wanna see that, those facts, before you say, I'm not gonna go out and say I'm gonna buy a car unless I'm sure that's what I want, same thing with that.
Well, this is a long process, and this is only the very, very, very first step.
Yeah.
And then you kind of determine, the possible interest, and then you figure out, to accommodate that interest, the size, all the everything.
Yeah, we got a long way to look into that,
So
right?
the costs are
Wow.
Right now, we really don't even have
I
it.
mean, like the question we had was, there was supposed to be some kind of map in there, but there wasn't.
I know, that was a, kind
But I
of,
wondered, are we thinking about incorporating Rabbit Hill and what about the
Yes.
properties off
Yes.
Edgewood?
yes. And basically, well, all Edgewood, everything but where we are, all up and down Otter Street. Basically, if you look at the Otter Street Water District, basically the same footprint.
Okay, well, that's what I mean, you know.
Big M, all that.
Didn't have all the information
I
to
know.
know just exactly, and like I said, I can't jump in and say, oh yeah, I'm totally interested. There's a lot more information I want to see.
Sure. Sure.
Thank you.
We need to get the surveys back and see who, you know, where we're gonna set boundaries and where we're gonna go, and that's,
Yeah, you guys said you had the 19th, right? You got mine on that, the survey?
I can't remember the date.
So you got 3 more days, so.
yep, yep. Anybody else?
Hello, my name is Tina Rogers, and my coworker Shana Toro, and we're invited to come attend to give an introduction to our company, which is recently here in Dallas Bay, in Watertown. We are Green Business Consulting, we're an environmental health and safety consulting firm, and we specialize in Texas-led radon. How do you get questions? You're doing great. Mold. We do site assessment, phase 1, phase 2, project monitoring, project design, project management. Basically, an all-encompassing environmental firm. We're located right up here on Route 12. We just took over that property a couple of places up from the guys done. So we just want to do an introduction. We haven't been here very long, and let us know that we're here. And make a note in the village. We're new in the area, and we have any questions? That's why I have my expert here. She's our assistant director of environmental health and safety at the firm. Did you want to stand up and speak?
Well, I just want to say hello. My name is Shana, and from what Tina said, you know, if you have any questions regarding technical aspect of what we do, I'd be happy to answer anything you might need.
I got, where are you located?
Right on Route 12.
The old Giannett House.
Okay.
Yeah, Mr. Pulver had this,
Jiva?
oh, yeah. Yeah, we, Bill Gill, I think it's been about a week now, I think the sign has been changed over, now it says Green Consulting, it was Pulver and Checkmate.
Yeah, the check.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, we have the office, the space is Route 12 in the garage, and,
Yep.
you know, other renters in the
Yeah.
home. But, and that's where we are. We've actually moved in November 30th, we came from Watertown. Currently sister partners with GYMO, Watertown, I don't know if anybody knows GYMO. But we are going to be separating and going on our, you know, on our own. So that's what, and we wanted to move down here to Alex Bay. The company is owned and run by Jonathan Riley. I don't know if anyone knows him. We do business all over New York State. We do contract work for the government. We've got Water Relief Arsenal, Canandaigua. We also are at Cabron Point Army Reserves in New Jersey.
West Point Military Academy, Canandaigua, VA Hospital. We've got some big projects, but there's no project too small. So
No, yeah, we do a lot of residential.
I just did a project for Mr. Barry Kukowski. He's a resident here, so I'm sure you've heard the name because it's a small town. So, yes, project big or small. That was an indoor air quality assessment. So, any environmental hazards we could, help you out with. Did you have a question?
Yep, so does your radon testing include both the house and water, and does that also involve like radon abatement systems as well?
Absolutely. So what we do, we test, the air in your home for the radon and or the water, depending on your concern and, the history of the home and where is in the radon zone map. And we can definitely design the radon mitigation system, but we don't install it, but we do have, contractors we've worked with to install such systems.
Mm-hmm. And some of our local people that we work for, Friends of the North Country, so about housing,
the Sunmount DDSO, we do a lot of
Sunmount,
projects with
yeah.
them, so. We're all over the place, from north to
Clarkson
south.
University.
I didn't even realize we were gonna stumble into Canada, we were getting off this exit. I live a little further down south, but, yes, I am all over the state, and we have a big staff with lots of experience, so we're pretty much, jack of all environmental trades.
Yeah, so we are registered, licensed for New York, New Jersey, Connecticut, we're already looking at getting licensed in Maryland and Delaware. So yeah, we're expanding, we're growing and expanding rapidly, but.
Yes, let us know if you have any questions, and we have business cards too, so you can hold up, you can talk
Can
afterwards.
stop in and see me down there?
Just like to say welcome to the town, and if there's anything that we can do for you, please, feel free to give us a call or stop in.
Gina, I probably should, this is Mr. Brun Sweet.
Yep.
This is the supervisor, Mr. McFayette is the director, director.
Town board member.
And I apologize, I don't know you two gentlemen.
Sean Thomas.
Gene Craig.
Hi, everyone, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other public concerns? Okay, we'll move on here. Town health officer, I'd like to add, Chris Semino to our yearly appointments, to the town health officer. I've talked to him. We have Rob Campany, who deals a lot with buildings and unsafe structures, and Chris is more of the medical side of it, and he's willing to do it, so I just need a motion, and we can have discussion if somebody has some questions.
I'll make a motion.
Motion by Gene, second by Sean. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, none. The next one is, another appointment, to the agricultural committee, and, Gene has talked to Bill Stein, right? And he's interested, he'd like to be on that. He would be a great person to be on that, a very active farmer. So I'll take a motion to add Bill Stein.
I'll make that
Motion by Gene, second by Sean.
Yep.
Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, none. The last appointment is to add our attorney, Mr. Silver, to our, yearly appointments. Everybody's met him, and, I'll take a motion to add him.
I'll make a motion.
Motion by Sean, second by Mike. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, all those opposed, none. Town engineer report, Rob is not here, I have no report. Number 5, letter of intent to buy a Volvo truck and a F-550. With what's going on today with vehicles, these vehicles, we're not gonna buy them for well over a year. They're gonna be in the 2023 budget, of which we will look at it more closely in the fall of 2022, when the budget proposals and requests come in front of us. But we need to have a letter of intent in, just so that we have a spot or whatever. And as you read in the letter of intent, there's no obligation, tied to it. It's just the way buying vehicles, I think, is going today.
Okay, I mean, I'm good with that, but I mean, the one is that there's no commitment, like you say, okay, in this whole thing, there's no dollar figure,
Yeah, right?
so,
That's why there's no commitment.
it's okay, I mean, that just seems kinda odd
Yeah,
to commit to something and not know how
Well,
much.
we'll discuss that when budget season
I know,
comes,
I
guess.
just,
yeah.
what's the value of this?
Need a motion to let me sign the letters of intent.
I'll make a
Motion by Sean, second by Gene. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by
Is
saying aye.
is this replacing an existing truck? Or what is the truck for?
I believe it is, that.
What is the truck for?
Yeah,
it's
this
The Volvo is a town plow truck.
Yep, replacing one of our
That we
town
replace every
plow
couple of
trucks?
years.
Okay,
And the F-550 is also a town
Okay.
plow truck.
Okay, that 550 is not in here
No.
at all?
No.
Okay, so that's a whole
Yeah.
nother,
Yeah.
okay.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, no. Next one is the, 4 grant applications from Bernard Carr, number 6. And, we were all at a meeting when this was discussed, and we went through it, and we picked the grants that we wanted to apply for. And that's really just a summary in this letter here in front of us. I just need a motion to, we didn't do a motion on this last time, and this is what we agreed on with, Bernie Carr. So I need a motion to approve that.
I'll make that.
Motion by Mike,
No, second,
second by Sean. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, none. Next one is the resolution to hire a wetlands consultant to investigate there's a pond up there in the center of the racetrack. We talked about this in depth. It was a man-made pond, but we have to go through a permit process. What we're talking about doing is draining that pond and filling that pond in with fill from Route 12 sewer project.
Does that, what that area is, the old horse racetrack?
I would say,
The infield is gonna be where all the athletic fields are, so that's why we need to get that filled in.
and my opinion on this is that we are only interested in the first part of this proposal, for the $1,950 for the investigation. In our discussion with the engineer and architect, they told us that the investigation may tell us that we don't have to go any further, because it's a man-made pond. I know,
That's a good point.
Mike, you know quite a bit about that.
That's a real good point.
I don't think there's any sense in going to the second part of this, just the first part, and
Yeah, I mean, if it ends at that, happy trails, but, critical path, this is super important.
yeah. I mean, the biggest thing is we wanna be able to do this so that we can use the Route 12 sewer project fill.
Don't wanna
go
move
in
that
there, which
material
would be
more than
huge.
one time.
Yeah.
And not only that, but you know the proximity to the project, it's right there,
Yep.
so. I'll take a motion, but I would say on that, under the task, we only take a motion to do the initial wetland investigation.
I'll make the motion to do phase one for $1,950.
Second?
Yeah.
Second by Sean, any discussion?
No,
Where will this be coming out of, the Bonnie Castle Fund?
yep. That would-
Under the H fund
Under the
capital
H fund?
project.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, all those opposed, none. Next item, we talked at the last meeting about, getting an architect to look at our bathrooms. And it had been brought up to me that we have 3 possibilities in the town of Alexandria that are taxpayers. So I just wanna ask you if you're all okay if I approach the 3. The names are, Tony Felder, Andrew Garlock, and Mark Reynolds.
Absolutely, yeah, for sure.
Okay?
Yep.
So I'll need a motion to do that. Motion by Mike,
Yep.
Second.
second by Gene.
Yeah, let's get this
Any
done.
discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, no. Butterfield Lake Land and Dock request. Mr. Pizzo, number 9. In August, I sent a request to acquire dock space at the head of Butterfield Lake. In lieu of the drainage onto my property, I would like this addressed at your next meeting, which I know is this week. I intend to get the situation rectified as soon as possible. I'd like to hear from the board as soon as possible. I've been down there and looked at it. I met with Mike Tibbles and Mr. Pizzo there this summer. And since then, I think Gene's been down there in the last week.
I went down this week
With Mike, and you know, what's your thoughts?
I don't see where the town is draining anything on his property. His driveway is higher than Butterfield Lake Road. There's maybe 3-4 feet of it that is actually lower than the road where it's coming down the hill. But the way it's contoured, it goes right down towards Mike Stevenson's house. That's who would be catching the water there. And down at the bottom of the hill is a culvert that runs across from the camp road going down in and drains off into the swamp. We measured the culvert from the center of the road, and it is well within the town's right of way. So I don't know where he's talking, we are draining water on his property.
And how does everybody feel about selling him a piece of land at the bottom of the road?
We have
That he's talked
infrastructure.
about in the letters I sent you with the maps.
We can't, we have that duplex pump right there, and we can't sell that property. That's crucial for that.
Is that all you got, Gene? I'd say we could ask him in the spring, or when he comes up here, we'd be happy to meet with him there. We'd be happy to look at the drainage problem that he's talking about.
Yeah.
And see, see if there's anything. I met with him, a couple years ago, and there was the problem with his driveway, and we put fill in it, we put crush and run in his driveway, and we built the driveway up, which is why the driveway is now higher than the road to keep the water from going in the driveway.
That's the other thing that Mike said, if it's the culvert at the bottom that is a problem, we could extend that culvert.
Yeah, okay. Well, I'll pass that on to him, and, I just need a motion to, we're not, interested in selling the property.
Yeah, that's,
So I need a motion for that.
I'll make it.
Motion by Gene,
I'll second.
second by Sean. Any discussion?
yeah,
And
that's,
that's just,
there's
we're
lots
not
of reasons
interested in
why we-
selling that property.
there's lots of reasons why we.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, none. And we'll get together with him on the drainage and see what we can do to help his problem.
Yep.
Dog control leash law, as I put on the agenda, I've talked to the county, and I'm waiting for the county to get back to me to tell me what they would do for us if we were to institute a leash law, and I don't have an answer to that. So, I'll work on that, an answer for the next meeting. Jamie, do you have a water report?
So, I'm doing my weekly, daily, and monthly test, bi-weekly consumption reads. I, helped 3, customers out with, frozen water. Been coming to the weekly water meetings. And in the DPW, we've been out plowing and sanding. D&J replaced the sander chain, or sander. We picked up the dump trailer. We cleaned out the, Mud Lake flume. And I've been working with Jay in the sewer plant. And that's the transfer site. Been helping Byron out with his pest inspection, and, I just finished up the, annual reports for the, transfer site and the, brush pit.
How did the clean out go at the Mud Lake? You got a trailer full?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. The Beaver had built it up pretty good?
Yeah, the trailer was, had a good load on it.
Yeah.
Just wrong, quick, because we're supposed to get an inch of rain tomorrow, so we're kinda hoping to get ahead of it.
Yeah. Okay. Number 12, the sewer report. Do daily, weekly, and monthly testing and duties for the sewer and water. Help Jamie in the water department as needed. Plowed snow in the DPW as needed. Jamie and I changed the conveyor chain on the DPW sander at my shop with my tools at no extra cost to the town. Changed 2 sewer pumps. Received shipment of 20 new sewer pumps for stock. He filled in at the barn as needed for plowing. Mike calls him and he goes and, plows the roads. Jamie and I removed the beaver dam behind Felders today to lower the lake level before spring flooding. And he had a meeting about Mud Lake Trail repairs. That's all we've got for the sewer report.
Do we keep a logbook when we change sewer pumps, where and how many we change a
Yeah.
year?
Yeah.
Do we?
Yep.
Where is it?
Jay keeps that at the Redwood Sewer Plant.
Okay.
Arena
But a
report.
lot of that you have to have, by DOH regulations.
Arena report. During the month of December, we rented a total of 153.25 hours of ice time, provided 17.5 hours of free ice time to the Tiny Tots program and public skate, for a total of 170.75 hours. During the month of January, we rented a total of 143 hours of ice time and provided 19.5 hours of free ice time to the Tiny Tots program and public skating, for a total of 162.5 hours. Starting January 1st, the hourly rates for ice increased by $5. Small brine leak caused by a bad seal on the brine pump has developed, and Davis Mechanical has been called, and the seals are on order. Our ice machine has been running rough, and Adirondack Lift Truck Services has been there twice, but problem with the engine surging is still happening from time to time. The new LED lights for the arena will be installed by the end of this week and have made a nice improvement to the arena. We added 3 new advertisers to the arena, and 2 damaged signboards were replaced with new ones. And the one thing I'd like to add to that is that we've added some more public skate, we've got a school holiday coming up, and we're trying to shuffle things so we've got adequate time for the tiny tots to skate. The rink has been real busy, especially on Sundays when we have the tiny tots. So what we're gonna do for this week and the next week is the 19th on a Saturday. We're gonna have tiny tots at 9:45 on Saturday, and on the 26th on a Saturday, we're gonna have tiny tots at 9:45 again. And then on the 23rd, in the middle of the school vacation week, we're gonna have tiny tots at 2, and we're gonna have we're gonna have a skate and shoot at 3. And that just changed today, and that has already been put on our rink calendar that's on our website.
What was the last day that you said there, the 2 o'clock day?
On which day?
The one during school break.
The 23rd is a Wednesday,
Okay.
and we're doing it at 2 and 3. Next item I have is, DPW report. Jamie, I think you did that? Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Zoning report, Norris isn't here. Youth program report.
Yeah, last week, the, youth program did a diamond painting class up here. We talked at the last meeting about trying to do some more educational and opportunities with the town, which would hopefully open us up to some more grant opportunities. So that was the first time kind of dipping into that, and Maria will continue to research that. While I'm talking about it, there's been some conversation between Hearts for Youth and us. So I had a good conversation with Tom Mitchell last night on some of that stuff. And the suggestion that we're gonna put forward is Maria sit down with the coordinator at the Hearts for Youth, who I'm not familiar who that is, but they'll sit down, meet, that way that can't really be seen as a competition thing. I've voiced our support from the town board for Hearts for Youth. We'll continue to do that, and as far as I know, we'll continue to dump some funds that way. So that was good. It was a good phone call. So they're gonna concentrate on finishing up basketball through the beginning of March. We'll start transitioning to things like baseball, softball, t-ball, and inside soccer. I had a good meeting up here with Maria and Matt Chase, who serves as the assistant director. One of the things that we're really interested in is looking into turf for the rink. And I had a conversation with someone at the YMCA to hopefully track some down for us. Pay-It is actually interested in helping out with that.
How would that affect the paddleball stuff?
So one of the options you have, it's relatively easy to lay out.
Okay, I'm just.
Yeah, I know.
This is a recent thing.
Right. All came together within 48 hours of each other.
Okay.
But one of the things that Matt sat and told me is that this turf is, 3 sections. You just roll it up,
Okay.
take it off, get it out of the way, roll it out to next. What we did discuss is there's some opportunity there. I mean, there's a lot of year-round soccer programs, lacrosse programs that have no accessibility right now. So some things that we're looking into, and hopefully we'll touch more on that within the next month.
Okay. Highway report, I don't have one. Transfer site, I put together a spreadsheet for the year that everybody's got in front of them. Has our revenues on there, and I think at a work session, we'll talk a little bit more about hours and days and what our thoughts are about the transfer site. This will show us very accurately, what the business level is up there.
But, yeah, we talked about the possibility of closing on Sundays. That's our most busy day.
Yeah, it's a busy day.
I mean, that's a bad day. That's not why, yeah, exactly.
Which is why I did this, so that we have that in front of us, and that answers that question. Yep. Report from the Water Sewer Committee. Mike, do you have anything?
We do, gonna take a couple weeks off here because there's people are gonna be out of town. Randy and Gail mentioned that we sent out a survey for the, the proposed Outer Street Sewer District. Where you and I are gonna meet with the town of Orleans and, just Orleans or Clayton on Friday to discuss some of the stuff that, you know,
Yeah,
the joint
meeting on
district.
Friday is with Joe Russell, and it's about the boundaries.
Okay, yeah, that's, okay, you're right,
Yeah.
okay, that's
And
a different
The
one.
meeting for the town of Orleans,
Yep.
everybody's passing emails back and forth, and that date has not been set.
Okay, but thank you for kind of reminding me. The way they originally laid out the Route 12 water district, unlike any other district, is, they took just a arbitrary line, I think it's like 100 feet or so off Route 12, and it just cut through properties. So you could have, you know, if you were on the, right along Route 12, you were in the district, but if you were greater than 100 feet, even though you're in the same piece of property, you are not in the district. Part of our restructuring, how we bill, based on our conversations with the comptroller's office, we can't, charge properties that don't receive service on a quarterly basis. However, you can charge the cap portion of the district, expenses on an annual basis in people's taxes. So, in this case, in Route 12, where this becomes a problem, is you can have a piece of property that's, say, 500 feet long, and that piece of property is paying, you know, their portion of the cap, but the way the district shows, only part of that property is actually in the district. So if I own that property for, you know, I'd be kind of like, hey, I'm paying for the whole deal, why am I only getting part of this thing? So we're gonna be sitting down with Joe and adjusting the boundaries to resolve that situation.
Yeah. Okay. Accept the non-union employee deduction schedule, you all have that in front of you, number 20. And I've provided everybody with a spreadsheet that shows the deductions for health insurance of 9%. That includes the dental, the eye, and the life insurance that are separate policies that are riders to our health insurance. So I just wanted a resolution to accept that schedule and make sure that those deductions are being done. Motion by Mike, second by Sean.
Yep.
Any
Everybody's
discussion?
the same.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed, none. 21 is the ratify the IMA between Alexandria and Orleans and Clayton. And the only thing that was changed, which we were talking about earlier, was the 47 cents that Orleans will pay the town of Alexandria. We had actually done this a year and a half ago, but that didn't end up in the agreement, so we're redoing it. And I just need a motion to accept this and to pass it.
Can we have a little discussion on this?
Yep.
My only, I mean, I've you know, been pushing hard for this, and I'm happy it's here. My only concern is we specifically say 47 cents per thousand. Well, as we all know, you know, costs over time go up. So that 47 cents, in all likelihood, is gonna go up. And when that's gonna happen, I couldn't say. This document doesn't have any language in here where it can be looked at like on an annual basis or some kind of time period. That's my only concern.
Yeah, there's no term, is there?
Yep.
So do you wanna add to be revisited on an annual basis?
Well, like every document, every, ordinance we have, it says, there's a phrase will be at a minimum on an annual basis. So that gives you the opportunity to do it less than a year, but at a minimum, it needs to be an annual. And
So how-
in our case, annually, you know, when we come to do the town budget, that's where this kind of stuff comes into play.
Yeah, because that's when we have the public hearings for all the districts. We could incorporate it into that.
Right, right. Well, that's what we do with all the districts to make sure that they're funded at levels that they can sustain themselves.
So what are your thoughts as far as what you'd like to add to that?
I would like the same kind of language, as a minimum, once a year, this, you know, this charge gets looked at, just to make sure it's sufficient, that's all.
Everybody in agreement?
I think it should be added right in the last line that the whole IMA should be revisited
Yep, that's it.
fiscally.
Yep,
Okay.
sure.
I'll take a resolution or a motion to do that then.
I'll make that motion.
Make a motion by Gene, second by
I'll second
Mike,
it. Yep.
to add to this agreement that will be revisited and adjusted if need be, annually.
Yep, or at a minimum.
Yep. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed, none. Acknowledge receipt of the financials. We don't have those. Nicole's been working on those, and we don't have them. We hope to have them soon. The town yearly calendar, this is something that I put together. Everybody sees this big piece of paper, and it's got a lot of things on it. It starts with withholding taxes, the dates, it's got the agenda, it's got all the budget dates that are on there, it's got W-2s, 1099s, reports for the town brush pit and transfer site, which I think Jamie just did. And it's got a date that all these things are due, and the dates are a little bit actually before the due dates. The reason I did this is that there's a lot of things that the town has to report, as everybody can see, and I just wanna make sure that we've all got a copy of this, especially Nicole and I, and then we look at this and make sure that everything gets filed on time. You know, we've, every now and then, we miss something or forget something. I think the sexual harassment date that the state set, I think we kinda overlooked that this year, and we got it done. It was a couple weeks late, and we just don't need to have the state coming in here and say, you didn't do it on time, and slap our hand or fine us. So that's what this is all about. I'd like to have a motion that we accept this calendar of dates. And it can be changed. I think the last time we talked about this, we added a couple things to it, the budget stuff. So it's kind of a moving object here, and I'd just like to have a motion that we accept this, and we'll start with this and go from there.
I'll make a motion.
Motion by Sean, second by Mike. Any discussion?
No.
All those in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed? None. Budget transfers. Yeah, got that pink paper. There's a lot of them. Here it is.
This is typical year end.
Okay, well, I'm gonna read this. There's a lot of them. This is year end, and that's why there's so many. Summary of budget transfers, number 13, dated 2022, for fiscal year end 12/31/2021. General A, I'll start with debit court clerk's PS, $211. Debit tax collection PS, $33. Debit assessment PS, $206. Debit town clerk PS, $134. Debit buildings PS, $5. Debit superintendent of highways PS, $210. Debit deputy superintendent of highways PS, $10. Recreational FTPS debit, $1,524. Recreation arena manager personal services debit, $4,429. Recreation PT part-time PS personal services credit, $5,742. Brush pit personal services debit, $140. Refuse/garbage PS credit, $140. Unemployment insurance credit, $1,020. Totals are $6,902 of debit, $6,902 of credit. And obviously what we're doing here is we're just trying to balance our budget, and these debits and credits are all within the same fund. So we're not going outside the fund. She explained to cover increased personal services due to accrued payroll. The next one, I'll keep going. Law, contractual expenses, debit $170. Accountant consultant, contractual expenses, debit $12,510. DPW, contractual expenses, debit $360. Building electricity, debit $477. Building heating fuel, credit $477. Central data processing, debit $452. Unallocated insurance contractual expenses, debit $1,998. Garage equipment, debit $21,800. Garage contractual expenses, debit $2,800. Garage heating fuel, credit $2,800. Devices, debit $8,832. New property tax, bed tax revenue, credit $8,832. Village improvements, contractual expenses, debit $600. Recreation electricity, debit $3,205. Recreation heating fuel, credit $3,189. Recreation contractual expenses, credit $16. Contingency contractual expenses, credit $5,215. Fish hatchery contractual expenses, credit $4,000. Refuse/garbage contractual expenses, credit $8,550. Planning and management devices, credit $10,000. Health insurance, credit $10,125. The totals are $53,204 debit and the same amount for credit. Now we're gonna go to General B, youth cans distribution, we're debiting $5,039. Zoning personal services, we're debiting $58. Zoning contractual expenses, we're debiting $55. Unemployment insurance, we're debiting $329. Youth program contractual expenses, we're crediting $5,481. So a total debit of $5,481 and a total credit of $5,481. Next page, highway DA. Machinery personal services, credit, or debit, I'm sorry. Debiting, $18,900. Machinery equipment, we're debiting $17,614. Snow removal contractual expenses, we're debiting $9,985. Service other governments personal services, debiting $7,032. Snow removal PS, we're crediting $53,531. Equals the $53,531 total debit and credit for highway DA. Now we're moving to highway DB. Road maintenance personal services, we're debiting $13,945. Employee benefits Social Security, debiting $725. Uniforms, debiting $280. Road maintenance contractual expenses, we're crediting $14,950, which is the same amount that we're debiting and crediting equal. Redwood sewer administration contractual expenses, debiting $512. Sanitary sewer personal services, debiting $4,063. Employee benefits Social Security, debiting $310. Sanitary sewers equipment, we're crediting $4,885, which is the debit and credit amount being equal, $4,885. Carnegie Bay Water administration personal services, debiting $2. Administration contractual expenses, debiting $459. Transmission and distribution contractual expenses, debiting $5. Employee benefits Social Security, debiting 10 cents. Source of supply contractual expenses, crediting $109.16. Transmission and distribution of equipment, crediting $110.10. Fund balance, crediting $246.84. An equal amount of $466.10 to debit and credit for Carnegie Bay Water. Edgewood Water, we are debiting Water Administration Personal Services by $1, and we're crediting Water Administration CE by $1. Otter Street Water, employee benefits Social Security, we're debiting by $1, and Administration PS, we're crediting by $1. Redwood Water, Administration CE, we're debiting $404. We're also debiting Transmission Distribution Personal Services, $295. Employee benefits Social Security, debiting $23. Transmission Distribution contractual expenses, crediting $772, which makes the debit and the credit equal at $722 each. Did I say $772? I meant $722. The last one is Route 12 Water Administration Personal Services, debiting $47. Route 12 Water Equipment, debiting $441. Employee benefits Social Security, debiting $5. Transmission and Distribution CE, crediting $493. And we're debiting and crediting the equal amount of $493 for both of them. I need a motion to approve these transfers, and I also need everybody to sign this paper.
I'll make that motion.
Motion by Mike. Second by Gene. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, none. I'll pass it down, yep. That's the Orleans Fire Department request for $45,000. That's number 25. So, we've given them $40,000, they're requesting 45. I explained to them when I talked to them, I wanna say a couple weeks ago, that we do our budget in the fall, and we look for all those fire department requests in September, and we have to have those requests, in our budget by October 1st, because we have to hand the
It goes to the
tentative
county.
budget to the town clerk on October 1st. So, we had gone through all these, and we kept it at $40,000. They are asking for $45,000. They built a new fire hall on Wellesley Island, and I believe they have over $1 million bond on it. And that's the reasoning. Talked to the chief over there last week, and he told me that new fire hall and the location and the in and out has increased their response time substantially. I don't know what everybody's feelings are about coming up with another $5,000 for them.
Well,
Where would we come up with the additional money?
Yeah,
What's that?
it's taxed out money. It's filters back through the fire tax.
Yep.
So we couldn't do this till 23.
Alright.
the money that we're giving them right now, the 40, is the people that are in their district are being taxed on their taxes. So, like Sean said, the question is where would we come up with that 5,000, cause we didn't collect it on taxes for that fire district.
Yeah,
Now, I'm not
Table it for budget.
100% sure this is a district. So what I'm getting at by that is
Well, it's
that
gotta be.
a district submits a budget to us.
right.
Okay, a district. And that budget that they submit to us, we don't even have any say in
No,
that
we're just a
budget.
pass-through.
We pass that budget on to the county, the county puts the fire tax on it and puts it on the tax bill. So,
But,
I don't
well, let's
think,
clarify that, because it would, I just can't, it would, if we took out, say, general aid, that means, like, say, for example, somebody in Redwood, some portion of that $5,000 would be coming from that person. That makes no sense.
why would it be coming from,
I'm just saying, general aid is the whole town.
yeah, but Redwood's a district and they submit a
That's
budget.
not what
So it's additional. It would be additional for
Yeah.
someone.
Yeah,
over
they
at Redwood.
would, some fraction or, whatever, of a service that they would never get.
Yeah,
There's gotta be an Orleans Fire District, right? Is that what I'm saying?
so would it be proper to say that we would like the submission for the change in their budget amount in, in early September next year?
It should be part of the budget no matter what.
And it'll be part of our budget,
Yeah.
because, like you're saying, where do we get the money from? Our budget's done.
I mean, how do we do it right now? The 40K comes through. It's the pass-through, right?
Yeah.
Is that what we're?
Yeah, yep.
Yeah.
And Brent's not sure if it is, maybe we should research that.
That's.
I mean, that's the way
Maybe we should table
that's the
this
way
till
all the
next
other
meeting
districts are.
and research that, but still, even if we,
So if you're uncertain that there's not a fire district over
Yeah,
there, then maybe
I don't think it is, but I don't wanna say that for sure.
Let's make sure on that one.
I think we should
But that's
have-
the way all the districts are strictly a pass-through, but
Yeah.
it'd be good to find out.
Because the village of Alex Bay that we give $189,000 to is not a district.
No, it's fire protection.
And if you remember, last year or the year before they came to us, they had a problem, and we gave them some more money. But that was not a district, and that's why we were able to do that. But I agree with the fact that our budget is set, the monies are allocated,
then we'd have to amend the budget and find the money and then explain why we're taking that money from that.
I mean, if you want to, well,
We need more information.
yeah.
We gotta figure that out before.
Yeah, so we'll table this to the next meeting,
Okay.
okay?
Yep.
Resolution to add new board members to the bank, I'd like to do a resolution to add Sean and Jean to our bank account. And that means that you guys will have to go to Redwood Bank and sign a whole bunch of cards
That
for
and
all of our accounts.
Watertown Savings Bank?
Yeah.
Okay.
Watertown Savings. There's no Redwood Bank.
Did I say that?
Yes, there is.
I'm sorry.
Been a while.
The old days, yep. So I'll take a motion, to have Gene and Sean become the signatures on our signature cards at Watertown Savings Bank.
Yep, I'll make that motion.
Motion by Mike, I'll second that, so we don't have either one of them doing that. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye, all those opposed, none. Okay, you've seen the deal about the summer pickleball that got a hold of me. And they'd like us to buy a couple nets that are $329 a piece. I did find a little bit of an additional discount that we can get on them, but I think it's 5%. We're gonna talk more about what we're gonna use for lines on the concrete floor. Right now, they're talking about just using tape. This site that sells the pickleball nets does have lines, and they're an adhesive product too. I talked with Jerry a little bit about it, today. You know, with tape, when you take that tape up, there's gonna be residue that you're gonna have to use an adhesive remover probably to get it off. The one thing that I was worried about is we put these lines on this floor, we have to take them off, and we gotta get them all off because we put ice on top of it and the lines will show through the ice. Jerry said, no, they won't. They paint the ice.
Yeah,
It's all painted,
they
yeah.
paint the ice.
So,
You'll see it after the first lay, but after that,
They
it
paint
gets
the whole-
painted and then
Because
it's.
of
they paint the whole thing white, right?
Right.
So we can talk about that more, and we can look into it, and we'll work with the pickleball people. First thing I need is we need to, pass something to buy the nets, and then the other thing is to talk about the rate that we're charging them to use it. We looked at our, rate schedule today. We have a lacrosse league that, plays in there in the summer, and I think there was somebody else that used it, and we found that we charged them $25 an hour. And our basic, reason for doing that is because we're probably gonna have to have somebody go there and open it up, somebody go there and close it, and we're gonna clean it. I don't know how
You're gonna do that all
they're
for
gonna get
$25
it.
You're not gonna
an
do
hour?
that for that.
What's that?
I don't think you cover it with that, do you?
I'm sorry, you
And
don't.
buy them.
I don't think that even covers,
No, probably doesn't.
I don't know, you know, it's not like we're,
I mean, it's
Plentiful
like if you look at
resources
ice time, we get $100 or $105 an hour, when all those compressors are running and everything's going full strength. We rent it to our local groups, the minor hockey, I believe, for $80 an hour, you know?
well, it's a good thing, we don't have much in the town to keep
Right.
people busy,
Oh, it's-
so at some point, it's not a bad idea to offer a service either.
We basically have to accept the fact that this isn't a profit for
Yeah.
situation.
No.
And we also accept the fact that this is a taxpayer-owned facility, and they're already paying for it under their taxes and stuff, so.
Yeah.
It's, you wanna, charge them a crazy amount because they're already doing stuff.
So I need to talk to them a little bit more about this whole process, because we get into opening and closing the building, and, if they're somebody who's the head of the group or head of this league, if we can do a deal that we give them a key and we can start out that way and see how that works, and obviously our two guys will be checking on that place on a regular basis, because in the off-season, their workday is gonna start there, and then they'll go to cemeteries, they'll go to doing their jobs they do. So they'll be there in the mornings. So we'll discuss this further, and I'll discuss it further, with our workers and with the pickleball people. You okay, we'll say $25 for now?
I'm okay with that, at least you start off with, and then we'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
I mean, something's better than nothing, because it just sits there vacant, not generating any revenue, you know?
And you guys see the leather, they got a fair amount of use. And if we have a rainy summer, they're gonna have a lot of use. So, I'll take a motion then to order the nets and to, set the rate at $25 an hour for them.
I'll make that
Motion by Mike, second by Sean.
Yep.
Any discussion?
Where are we gonna pull the money from to buy the nets? From the rink?
Out of the recreation
Out of
fund.
the recreation fund?
Yep.
Okay.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed? None. And the other, actually, there's two more. Ratify the New York State Parks, that's a document that I've given, Mr. Silver, and he's gonna take that, home with him, and he's gonna look at that and report to us, by the next meeting, if that's okay to sign.
Absolutely.
Okay, okay. And that's sewer easement is what it is.
We were just talking about this last thing, well,
Where'd you get that?
No, this is a new deal.
oh, okay, all right, never mind.
This is the sewer easement from Keyway, from the state parks. That, because we're dealing with the state,
That was,
he's got a 35-page document in front of him that we have to make sure it has things in it that we're okay with. That's why he's gonna look through that. You've probably seen stuff like that before.
this is fire protection on it.
I know, but I didn't look at this before.
Yeah. The difference, Mike, is this is New York State Parks and Rec,
Right.
okay? And the only other thing I have here is I've got this consultant agreement that we have for our consultant, and he's got a copy of it. He's gonna talk to his lawyer. He wants to make sure he meets the insurance qualifications in here. He's gonna look into that. And the one other thing that we might have to add to this is we might have to add the fact that he's gonna be taking over, the assessor job, cause our assessor is retiring. And I would talk with him about it, and he's definitely interested in doing it. Actually, he's doing it right now on a temporary deal because of the emergency situation we had with our assessor. So I'll talk to you a little bit more about that, but that's, we might just add that to it, or we should. So we won't make a decision on that, till we hear from Mr. Ramo and we hear from, Attorney Silver. That's all I have, except I do have executive session for litigation.
Okay.
So I need a motion to go into executive session for litigation.
I'll make that motion.
Motion by Sean, second by Mike. All those in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed? Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Frank. You have this thing in front of you?
What number is it?
Number 25. Read number 1.
Yeah, that's what we talked about with the 45,000.
Should the town does hereby engage the district to provide fire protection to that portion of town fire protection district located on Wellesley Island, and the district agrees to furnish such protection pursuant to the so this says
It's a district.
we do have it. I mean, it says it right there.
Yeah, okay.
I'd have to look at the tax map to see, it's got a, but it appears, I don't know how long, I don't know how old, is this like something that's been in place and we're just renewing it this year, or?
No, it's been in place for a long time.
Okay, then this appears,
Whenever it's convenient for you.
Been in place for a long time.
Go for a ride, take you, show you the sewer plant, what's going on there, just so you got an idea.
It's been a long time since I've been in the plant.
Yeah.
I seen that back when Dana was there.
Oh, man,
And I don't think
Right.
that's.
he was saying today, at least 6 years since. Dana has 4 years left. It's crazy. Yeah, like I said, when it's convenient for you, and you don't think for, I can.
I look forward to it,
Hey Randy, it's Brent Sweet. I'm in a board meeting right now, we're just going over the stuff about Orleans, and we had a question. Is the Wellesley Island part of Orleans an actual fire district?
It's actually.
I'm not familiar with the area. Oh, okay.
So the way I understand fire districts is you submit an annual budget to your town, and that's what determines the fire district rate.
So that's where I live, a little north of Syracuse.
Yeah, okay.
So you drive.
Yeah, so we're not gonna be able to do anything this year because of that and because of our budget, but, one of the things that I'd like to make sure is that you guys send us the documentation and your request, in early September, because we turn our budget over to our town clerk on October first.
When I'm not out in the field doing.
Okay.
I mean, that would be up to the town, if we don't, just been taken out of our hands as far as like we used to.
Yeah.
And
the town took it over, the town has always done it every year, so.
Yeah.
No, I'm in
August, September, they submitted, I don't know, a line item for that dollar amount for fire protection, so.
The letter I have about the change in the price was dated October 16th. Okay?
No, the last Friday on that.
It was for $40,000.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, and it was the day after they sent the check that I got an email from, is his name Kimmy?
Above or below and bounced off them and went in.
And I told him that we sent a check certified bail, and he actually emailed me
Awesome,
2 days
very
ago
much.
and told me that he didn't have the check yet. And we've gotten the certified
Thank you, take care.
signature cards back from the other checks that we sent, but not your check. So we need to follow up on that tomorrow.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
And we'll see if we can find that check that's floating around somewhere.
All right, sounds good.
Okay, thanks, Randy. Yeah, bye.
So, what does he wanna do up in the stables, cut the insulation out and?
I figured you'd get a kick out of that. He needs to have you take the ceiling down, the insulation down, and he wants to have pictures of the rafters, the purlins.
In just one section, or all of it?
Couple, I'd say do 2 sections. And if you go all the way up the bleachers,
That's what I was wondering.
you can get pretty close to it.
Okay. Well,
Probably still gonna take a ladder up there.
only like a 40-footer.
That's all.
That's all. Me and Jay will go up there and take a look at it tomorrow and just see what we can do for you.
Pictures off?
Okay?
Frank, did you turn this off? Did
Nope.
you turn that off?
All right, you gonna be around in the
Did you
morning?
turn off anything off over there? Yeah, I'll be here.
So, if you get some free time, if you wanna go for a ride, and I can show you the water and sewer districts and.
I do. I just got back, but I'll probably get in touch with you next week.
Okay,
And,
yeah. I'll take you around, I can show you the water districts and the sewer the sewer plant
Yeah.
and show you what's going on, kinda give you an idea.
I want you to take me up to Bonnet